Today on Eagle Nation News, meet the new principal with Prosper High Spirit, Mr. Jones. Join Diane Shaw and Mr. Jones for a live interview. Prosper Theater traveled overseas to compete. Find out more later in the show. Madeline Wentz takes a closer look at the Scotland Festival. With all the growth in Prosper over the years, some teachers at PHS have been around to experience it. All this and more on Eagle Nation News.
Good morning, Eagle Nation, and thank you for joining us. Today's Friday, August 26th. I'm Landry Long.
And I'm Zach Manning. It is so nice to finally be back into the full swing of the school year, Landry.
I totally agree, Zach. I know that jump from middle school to high school can be super overwhelming for some, but seeing the freshmen get a hold of their schedule and a little bit less stressed out in the hallways is super encouraging.
Absolutely, and thankfully we have some awesome middle schoolers here in PISD that can truly help prepare for that.
And while we're on the subject of PISD middle schools, just down the road at Reynolds, teacher Kimberly Churchill sent out a shout out to a few student athletes who sacrificed their free time to stay behind after lunch and help out the custodial staff. She made it clear in the tweet that this was not due to bad behavior or a punishment of any sort, but just out of the kindness of their hearts. She said, quote, "They sure do grow amazing scholar athletes here at Reynolds. #ProsperProud."
I think that's truly amazing what those students are doing to help out those janitors. That's awesome.
Yeah, Zach, not too long ago, I was a student athlete at Reynolds, and those coaches truly do pour into the students on and off the court.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I went to Rogers, but I had the same experience. They were so good to us on and off the court. Now switching gears, have you seen this man? Prosper Police need your help in finding Dwayne Kevin Charlo. This past Wednesday at 8:30 a.m., Prosper police officers were put on a call in an attempt to find the shooter on the loose. 56-year-old Dwayne Kevin Charlo, the victim's boyfriend, had opened fire outside of Crestwood Drive, located inside of Glenbrook Estates. Police have issued a warrant for his arrest on charges of aggravated assault.
Hopefully the victim has a speedy recovery. A group of PHS theater students had a unique opportunity to perform overseas this summer. Madeline Wentz shares the impact of this experience on students.
At the beginning of August, Prosper Theatre took to the international stage when they performed in Edinburgh, Scotland. The troupe was invited to showcase its talent during the American High School Theatre Festival at the Edinburgh Fringe, a 3-week event celebrating and displaying global creative art.
We were one of 30 schools to be invited to apply to come to the festival. We all submitted testimonials for why our school should go, and we were selected.
PHS Thespians performed Queens, which is based on the life of Henry VIII and his 6 wives, 4 times at the festival. Visiting historical attractions in the UK helped the actors better understand their roles.
We got to see the Tower of London, which is basically the whole castle area where all of the King Henry stuff went down. There were a lot of things that we changed while we were there because we learned a lot more about the history of it.
While they couldn't stay for the full duration of the festival, PHS Thespians gained much from the experience.
I learned a lot about how to improve my acting. We also took this improv class where we learned about different improv skills.
The trip wasn't just an artistic benefit, it also provided students with cultural immersion and a widened worldview.
I'm so glad I got to go because I got to experience a different culture that I had never got to see before. I got to meet people from all around the world who all loved theater just like I do, and it was really cool to get to see everyone collaborate over a shared interest.
I'm Madeline Wentz, reporting for Eagle Nation News.
The cast and crew of Queens is staying open-minded for more opportunities to perform their show at future festivals.
Now, I'm so glad that Madeline Wentz got to highlight all those opportunities and festivals going on, but something that did catch me was she kind of forgot to mention the Top Gun Maverick movie, which is almost like my favorite movie of all time. Can we get a camera turn around on her, please?
I was looking at summer movies, and I was looking at June, July, and August because those were summer, so I didn't consider May. My bad, guys.
I get you. All right, I get your point.
With new beginnings and eventual endings taking on Hollywood, Christina Krasnova has more in this week's edition of Talent Talk.
Thanks, Landry. Madeline did, however, talk about the Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon, which premiered on HBO Max on Sunday. The verdict from fans was mostly positive, one viewer tweeting, quote, "House of Dragon Episode 1 was absolutely fantastic. Those last minutes had me tearing up. I cannot wait for this series. It's going to be special. I haven't watched the first episode of the show myself, but I really enjoyed Game of Thrones. From premieres to finales, the CW show Riverdale is finally entering its last season. Madeline Petch, who plays Cheryl Blossom, teased the final season, promising a, quote, insane ride. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I personally thought the last season was just crazy, although my favorite was season 1 by far. Under their chilling and mysterious but hilarious production, the 2019 hit Knives Out is getting a sequel, Glass Onion, which gains its title from a Beatles song. Director Rian Johnson's addition to the murder mystery series will feature a new all-star cast, although Daniel Craig will be returning as Detective Blanc. The setting, however, moves to Greece, where Blanc has to, quote, peel back the layers of a mystery involving a new cast of colorful suspects. The sequel will be released globally on December 23rd on Netflix. I've personally rewatched Knives Out over and over since it came out, so I'm nothing but thrilled about this sequel. Moving away from the screen towards Hollywood happenings, last Saturday, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck hosted a lavish wedding ceremony at Affleck's estate in Georgia, 1 month after marrying in a Las Vegas chapel. At the first ceremony, Lopez wore a simple dress, perfect for the small and intimate occasion, from the 2004 rom-com Jersey Girl, which the couple starred in together. For the second wedding, however, Lopez wore a dramatic custom Ralph Lauren dress, and a white dress code was enforced with the guests. The night full of love finished off with an extravagant fireworks display, and guests were treated to barbecue back at Affleck's estate the next day. Coming up next, Parker Reynolds has all you need to know about Prosper Sports in the first football game of the season.
The Prosper Eagles competitive shooting team will be holding their annual meeting for current and prospective members and their families on Tuesday, September 6th at 7:15 p.m. in the LGI. If you are interested in continuing or becoming part of the club, be sure to attend. If you have any questions regarding the club, please see Mr. Atkinson or Mr. Kraft.
Be sure to stick around to see an exclusive interview with a new addition to the Prosper High School staff, Principal Jones.
But first, Parker Reynolds has the results of last night's football game and other sports announcements in this week's Game Time.
Thanks, Landry. While it may have only been the second full week of school, Prosper Sports continue to dominate. Last night, football faced off against Euless Trinity, bringing home the first season win 17-13. Senior quarterback Harrison Rosar threw for 172 yards and a touchdown, connecting to senior Braden Reimer. Junior Prentice Sanders had a rushing touchdown, and in the fourth quarter, senior Carson McClendon had a game-changing interception which sealed the deal for Prosper's first season win. The Eagles will play at Saxe next Friday against the Mustangs. Switching now over to volleyball, last weekend the Lady Eagles volleyball team played in the Northwest ISD tournament. After losing to now first-ranked Highland Park in a close semifinal match, they brought home the bronze. The Eagles easily defeated the Southlake Carroll Dragons in a 2-0 win. Seniors Ella Cheney, Callie Kiefer, and junior Aiden Ames were all named for the all-tournament team. And on Tuesday, the Lady Eagles played Plano West, losing the match in a close fifth set. They hope to turn things around this weekend, where they are seeded fourth in the Volleypalooza tournament in Austin. Yesterday, the Lady Eagles won in 5 sets, the first day going 2-1. The Eagles play 3 more games today, hoping to take home the gold tomorrow. The Eagles will be back at home to play Colleyville Heritage next Tuesday. In tennis news, the boys and girls varsity teams matched up against Denton Geyer on Tuesday, winning 17 of 19 matches and setting a standard going into the rest of the season. Now moving to the course, Prosper Cross Country won big at the Rock Hill Twilight Invitational last weekend. The elite varsity boys team finished first overall, with senior Jack Johnston finishing first and junior Max Miller followed right behind in second. The girls also won big, finishing second overall, with senior Shawai Johnson finishing first and sophomore Reagan Reed in second. The open boys varsity team also finished third and girls in second. The teams run again tomorrow at the Southlake Invitational. And it's a new year with a new principal. Diane Shaw has more on Prosper High's new leader.
Prosper High School has a new principal, Mr. Nick Jones. But who is the man behind the title? Jones has been preparing for this position ever since he decided to pursue education in the 8th grade. That year, he was inspired by his teacher, who taught him about growing up both inside and outside the classroom.
When I saw what he was able to do for me, it kind of gave me an inkling of what I want to do when I got older. And I wanted to be able to be involved with kids and help kids as much as possible.
Now that he's principal of PHS, Mr. Jones has big plans for the year.
We have two big goals here, right? We want to make PHS a place that people want to be, so we're going to want to make sure we focus on culture and climate with teachers and with kids, and we want to make it one of the highest academic institutions in the state.
PISD Superintendent Dr. Holly Ferguson was intentional when she hired Mr. Jones as principal. She admires him for his enthusiasm and drive and is confident he will help take PHS to the next level.
What I love about him is that anything's possible if you just work hard enough at it.
One of my strong things is getting kids excited to be at the Prosper High School.
I'm Diane Shaw, reporting for Eagle Nation News. I'm live in studio with the principal of PHS, Mr. Jones. And Mr. Jones, how are you feeling after your first weeks on the job?
I'm feeling super excited about being here. This is one of the best high schools in the state, and we have some of the best kids and teachers in the state, so I couldn't be more happy to be principal at the Prosper High School.
So it's definitely been an eventful 2.5 weeks. What are you most proud of so far?
I'm most proud about how many students have shown up to events. We have a lot of kids coming out for volleyball and football and attending events for us. Students have a lot of pride in what we do here at the high school, and so that makes me very proud to be here.
So we see you at these events, lots of enthusiasm, taking B-reels, cheering. What makes you so passionate about being principal of PHS?
This is one of the best high schools in the state. There are many people that would want this job, and I am lucky enough to be principal here. And so we're going to show that by attending events and showing students how proud we are of them.
So everyone can really tell you care about the students and you care about PHS. How do you plan on making a difference in the lives of each and every PHS student?
So it's my job to make school enjoyable for students, right? We want students to want to be here and enjoy being here. And so we're going to do things during the year that make it fun to be here. Things like pep rallies, things like dress-up days that make kids want to show up. If kids want to show up, they're going to do better academically, and that's the whole point of attending school here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jones. All of ENN is wishing you a very lucky first year as principal. Coming up, Kay Spears will highlight a couple of teachers who may have been teaching longer than you've been alive.
Dr. Ferguson is currently accepting applications for the Superintendent Student Advisory Council. The council focuses on the development of leadership skills by encouraging student input in the educational process. The district will select 9th through 12th grade students from across Prosper ISD to participate in this council. Your campus principal, Mr. Jones, must recommend you for this council. Applications are due by September 1st. Check your school email for the link to apply.
While Prosper High School continues to grow in opportunity and size, the tradition and value remains the same. Kay Spears highlights two teachers that have been with PHS for a long stretch of time.
For the past 13 years that Prosper High School has been open, there have been a variety of different teachers and students that have come through the school. With Prosper building new schools and the town expanding as a whole, there have only been a handful of teachers that have stayed with the school district. Michael Logan, an AV audio production teacher that has taught at Prosper since 2014, stated that his family is what brought him to Prosper High School.
What brought me to teaching in general was I was touring with video production company and I had a son, and so I wanted to stay home with my kid and not be on the road all the time, so I started teaching what I was doing, which is video production, and this is the first job I got teaching, and I've been here ever since.
Christina Goodman, a culinary arts teacher who has been at Prosper High School since 2010, also stated that teaching at Prosper has not only provided the education that she has given her students, but allowed her to connect and build relationships with them as well.
I have created some of the best relationships in my life. You can probably see behind me some of these relationships. I have one student in particular who lost her mom. When she got ill and was passing away, her dad called me and I spent the last days of her life with her. So being able to be a teacher at Prosper High School means more than just educating in a classroom. It goes so far beyond that for me.
Even though Prosper ISD continues to become one of the largest growing districts in the state of Texas, there are still teachers that have been here for the long run. I'm Kay Spears reporting for Eagle Nation News.
Longtime teachers do truly help embed Prosper traditions and morals.
That's all we have for you today, Eagle Nation. We wanted to take a second and say that our thoughts and prayers are with PHS cheerleader Haley Alexander and her family for a quick recovery. Tonight at Medical City Plano, there's a prayer service held at 7:30 in the front parking lot facing the C Tower.
And a link is posted in ENN's Instagram Eagle Nation Network to donate to the Alexander family.
Once again, I'm Landry Long.
And I'm Zach Manning. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great day, and go Eagles.